Takings up again, particularly in the restaurant.
16th.
Ditto.
And ditto, no doubt, the rest of the time we were away. He certainly does his job, Paul Ross.
Depressing.
Yes. Hello, Jill.
Morning, Jill. What's this? Court-martial?
What are you so eager to charge yourself with?
Failing to prevent Paul Ross from getting on the board.
Well, no one can blame you for that. I'm the one to blame for leaving you here to take care of the place on your own.
Oh, you were fully aware that I wasn't competent then?
David means that you had no chance against J. Henry if he chose to be difficult.
But David would have coped, wouldn't you?
We three would have coped, all voting against J. Henry when we wanted to put Ross on the board.
He sacked Diane yesterday.
Tell Diane she is reinstated. Whatever it is that needs sorting out, I'll deal with it later.
She did nothing. He did it simply to prove his power.
Well, we've spent enough time on it. We simply outvote the new member of the board. And you can tell Diane to resume work as if nothing's happened.
She won't. Well, she's given notice. She says she won't work in the same place as Paul Ross.
Let's have the powerful Mr. Ross in, and this time for a real court-martial.
I'm afraid you can't. I mean, as always, when trouble of his own making blows up, he disappears, leaving the dust to settle all over everybody else.
I'll have a word with J. Henry.
Oh, go easy. Remember his heart attack.
Been playing on your woman's sympathy to get his own way.
Every woman's sympathy, including Valerie's.
I think you'll find my sympathy less susceptible.
Oh, dear. A fight on your first day back, Barbara. I'm sorry.
Men love to fight. Keeps them young.
Short circuit or something in there. Modern workmanship. This motel has only been up 3 or 4 months and all...
You know, nothing you packed yesterday will suit the Mediterranean. What were you expecting in Glasgow? Snow?
Well, we're not going to Glasgow anyway. Honeymoon. Honeymoon. I think we're on our honeymoon. That's a strange thing, because we went on it 26 years ago. And I didn't feel for one day we were on it then.
I seem to remember walking out on you halfway through.
Well, that's a precedent I don't intend to provoke you into following this time. Come in. Oh, David, hello. Oh, I'm sorry about last night. I would have asked you and Barbara to dinner, but nobody told me that you'd arrived.
I was scheduled to arrive.
Oh, well, I haven't looked at the schedule since my little heart attack. You've heard about that, haven't you?
I've heard about very little else.
I didn't tell Jay you and Barbara were back, because then we would have dined together and talked business.
That is what I'm here to do now. Paul Ross cannot sit on the board. In fact, he cannot continue working in this motel in any capacity.
David, if you'll just listen to me for a moment and we all keep calm.
Keep out of this, Jay. I'm your point of reference. When Paul Ross was put on the board, I was functioning as Jay's proxy
Valerie,
director.
I'm not going to quibble about irrelevant details. I intend to thrash this out with J. Henry and nobody else, so would you please leave the chalet?
Nobody dismisses my wife like that.
Jay, sit down.
And I don't have women fighting my battles for me.
Then you don't have a honeymoon. What do you think you've got here? A motel, which is a very small cog, and my husband...
I am concerned about Paul Ross being on the board.
My husband was running corporations while you were dreaming of leasing boarding houses. Don't you think he can handle his nominees? Particularly ones like Paul Ross.
Do you realize that this nominee of your husband's is running riot? Sacking some of our best people?
Good, let him run riot. And when he has run riot, when he draws breath, my husband will make his move.
Move?
And Paul Ross has run riot. He will have, without knowing it, have served J. Henry's purpose. And then things will start to happen. Beginning with Paul Ross being flung out on his ear. Look, why don't you leave it to Jay? He knows what he's doing.
How can I be sure of that? Unless I know what he's doing.
Oh, but you mustn't know, David. Paul Ross, as you've learnt, is an expert spy. You must know nothing, because he must find out nothing. However, I do see David's difficulty. And Jay, what do you think? When we get to the Med, could I make a full report of your strategy and send it on to David? Post it?
Yes, do that.
Yes. There. Only show it to nobody, David, except your solicitor. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it nearly as much as our visit to Mr. Shakespeare that we never made.
Lunch with Barbara and me before you go?
Lunch without business.
As you please.
Valerie, what is this move that I am going to make against Paul Ross?
Don't you know?
No, I don't.
Well, I think you better think one up fast as soon as we escape from here. Don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, why are you looking so down? Sharon said you could start. And it won't just be sweeping up and polishing. I got some other things in mind for you.
Like what?
Well, like jacking cars up and taking wheels off, and, you know, tires, getting them ready to mend punches and so on.
You mean I'll do it?
Well, no, you won't mend the punches. I'll get Nobby or Mac to do that. But you can put them back on and, you know, put the pressure in them and everything. Give me a shout, I'll check the nuts and how's your father. Be a good little number, that.
I don't know.
Don't know what?
No, about it all.
Listen, I set it all up for you, Benny.
Yeah, but I don't think Matt wants me.
Well, why should you think that, then?
Well, he said yesterday that, well, working in the garage is the same as working outside on the garden. It's just fetching and carrying the same.
Mac said that?
Yeah, here yesterday in the office.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't know really at the time, you know, the things that I had in mind for you, you know. And we didn't tell him everything, Sharon and I. No, there'll be no trouble, I tell you.
Well, I hope you're right.
Hello, garage. Yeah. Where, in the car park? Mm-hmm. Flat. What sort of car? Green Rover. Yeah. Okay, couple of minutes' time, right?
I said, we got that petrol pump yet?
She's gone for it.
Well, what's keeping her?
I don't know. Let women out of the office and you gotta go and round them up, haven't you?
Yeah, man, I'm waiting on it.
Well, if you're waiting, I got something for you, right? Car park, Green Rover, right? Go and take the change of wheel and take Benny with you.
Okay. Come on.
You don't mind?
No, come on. Let's see how you can cope.
Okay. You watch me, though, won't you? Make sure I can do it.
You bet.
You weren't long. Thought you'd spend at least an hour battling with J. Henry.
I met a strange woman leaving his chalet.
What? What strange woman? Oh, the old devil.
She said she was his nurse.
Oh.
Gave me this bill. Seems she's leaving today.
Well, why would she give you the bill? I mean, you're not responsible for J. Henry's heart attack. Why don't you pass it on to Valerie?
Well, that's an even stranger thing. It never occurred to me.
Never mind what happened when you came out of the chalet. What happened when you charged it?
I met another strange woman.
Oh, darling, come on, please be serious.
I am being serious. The strange woman looked exactly like Valerie Pollard. But she behaved like the best wife a man ever had. Excepting you, of course.
If you tell me that she burst into tears
No.
and...
No. Wool, though. I'm pretty sure of that now. Wool.
Wool. David, what do you want about?
The wool she tried to pull over my eyes. Lucky husband, J. Henry. Nearly as lucky as I am.
Oh, shut up.
Hello. Good morning, Miranda. Hello, Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you two had another row?
We two never intend to have another row again, ever.
That's impossible.
I think we have exhausted the impossibilities of our marriage, Miranda.
I would like to watch you two being happily married for more than one day at a time. I would also like some sun at that villa. Daddy, I said I'd like to come too.
You are an emotional blackmailer. I don't know that I would like you to come. However, Val's the boss. Check with her.
What's all this? Somebody's birthday?
Thought it'd make a change from your usual hamburger and chips.
Mine? Where's Joe?
Oh, working. Why? Do you need someone to hold your hand?
I thought you told me he was going to be here for lunch, Trina.
Well, he isn't. I had to trap you somehow, didn't I?
Trap me? What are you talking about?
Why have you been avoiding me? Am I some sort of threat?
You know I don't threaten easily, Trina. Now, why don't you stop all this mess?
Making you lunch? What's so terrible about that?
You happen to have a husband and a son, in case you forgot.
So,
I'm not the boy next door. And if you want to make with the white wine and the prawns, why don't you do it for your husband? He deserves it and needs it, Trina. I don't.
okay. Go to hell. Why didn't you just go?
Don't worry, Trina. I'm leaving.
You're a pig, Greg. You always were.
Look, Trina, I don't mean to put you down now.
Oh, just get out. Leave me alone.
You're only making it more difficult on yourself. Can't you see that?
I didn't go running after you, Greg. It was you that came here.
I know I did.
Look, you knew I was married. Why did you do it?
I made a mistake, all right?
And I'm supposed to carry the consequences.
There aren't going to be any consequences. I'll book a chalet at the motel.
I suppose you know I love you, don't you?
You got your hang-ups, Trina, and I got mine.
Oh, don't go. Where are you going?
To get myself a hamburger and chips. You don't love me, Trina. The only person you love is yourself. Trine! Trine! Oh, there you are. Where's Greg?
How should I know?
I'm only asking.
He went out to lunch. He doesn't inform me of his movements.
Okay, you don't have to bark at me. Look, I was thinking, if I asked Shard for an advance, I think she might play ball.
Yeah, what for?
Oh, we could go away, have a holiday somewhere.
Like where?
Anywhere you fancy. Italy, Spain, Greece. You'd like that, what'd you say?
The only trouble is we'd have to come back to this dump. I hate this place. I hate this street, this house. I hate the phony hypocrites who live in it. And if you must know, I even hate myself. I'm trapped.
Well, you don't have to get boozed up on your own every night.
Oh, no? Have you got a better idea?
Kath! Kath! Come and listen to this.
What's that?
Oh, there's caterwauling from next door.
Oh, sounds all right to me. It's reggae, isn't it?
Well, never mind what it is. It's the nuisance value I'm talking
you're not
about.
going to start that again.
Yes, I am. They're playing right into our hands.
What?
Well, they're talking about going to court over Kevin's buzzsaw. Well, we've got a counterclaim for abatement of nuisance. Constant disruption of our peace and tranquility. Oh, there'll be a laughing stock.
You're not serious, are you?
Oh, yes, I am. There's only one way to deal with people like that. Fight fire with fire.
And whose brilliant idea is that? Your pal Sneed?
What's the difference?
You two still arguing? What about this time, the same boring old subject?
Your mother seems to favour the kind word that turneth away wrath.
My mother, who is also your wife, by the way, happens to be entirely right.
Yes, dear. Well, I think your father and I can sort this out. There's no point
Yes,
in...
there is every point, Mum. When I think how he's upset Kevin...
Yes, I understand that, dear, but all
he
the same...
ought to be told, Mum, straight out.
What do you mean by that? You're not blaming me, are you?
Of course I'm blaming you. You've done nothing but moan and niggle since the day they moved in.
Yeah, that's enough out of you, young lady. I don't think that you or your husband have any cause to thank our neighbours.
Well, if you're talking about Kevin working in the garage...
I'm talking about something a lot more important. I'm
Right,
talking
Kevin,
about...
Arthur.
No, that's all right. If Glenda's going to side with our downtrodden brethren, she might as well have all the
Look,
facts.
Look, there's no need to cause
What
any
facts?
more
What are you
trouble.
talking
No,
about?
it's all right. It's just that Trina got a bit overwrought, that's all.
If that's the way you like to put it, spreading a lot of lies about Kevin.
About what?
No, it's not serious,
Well, I
Glenn.
think I better be the judge of that. What exactly did she say? Sorry, I've lost my key.
Well, then you can post it back, Miranda.
You've never been able to keep a key of your own in your life, Miranda.
Oh, is this a farewell deputation?
Unfortunately.
Well, we'll be back.
Don't hurry. Remember your heart.
Yes, don't push it.
Miranda's lost her key.
Oh, well, when she finds it, she can always use it here.
I'm sorry I left you at such short notice.
It's all right. We're not short-staffed now.
You're never going to believe this, but I'm going to miss this place. It could be said that this was where I truly married my husband.
Congratulations.
So, what do you want to talk about? The weather?
You know what I want to talk about? Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Good-looking guy. Tends to lose his cool and lash out.
I know that was stupid, but you can't blame him, can you? After the rotten thing you did.
I did.
It was a pretty vicious thing to do, pretty spiteful.
Listen, if you're talking about the racket he's been making in the garage, I have nothing to say. It's in the hands of my solicitor.
I'm not talking about the garage, I'm talking about the deliberate lies you've been telling.
Me? Which particular lies are these?
Look, it's not amusing, Trina. I do understand how you feel. What's been happening to you and Joe is rotten. It's disgusting, even. But it's no reason to spread malicious lies about you and my husband.
Oh, you've come around to have a row, have you?
I haven't. It's quite the opposite. There's been enough rows. That's stupid. No, this is something else. This is me being open with you. But don't try and mess things up between me and my husband. It's not a very nice thing to do, and apart from anything else, it won't work. All right? Look, Trina, I don't want to quarrel with you. We've got on all right in the past, and I'm sure we can in the future.
You're pretty sure of yourself, aren't you?
Well, I haven't got any time for this black and white thing, if that's what you mean.
Who told you I was spreading malicious lies? Kevin?
I haven't discussed it with him, as a matter of fact.
Well, he hasn't mentioned it. That's a bit funny, isn't
Well,
it?
mention what? The fact that you've been spreading evil gossip?
That Joe came round the other night and found him with his arm around me.
That's a lie.
I see. Joe tells lies as well. We're all liars. The truth is never
Trina,
told
will
in
you
this
stop
house.
it or I'm going to lose my temper as well.
Listen. All I'm suggesting is that you talk to Kevin himself.
I don't have to.
Oh, you trust him, do you?
I just know him, all right? I know he's not like that.
What about Carol Sands, then?
Carol? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Just me lying again. Oh, it's simply that Kevin told me that he'd had an affair with her last winter.
It's not true. I don't believe it, not a word of it.